Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be playing with a new kit. It is the Scenic Travel, let's see, let me get it right. Scenic Route Travel Journal. A lot of words. And it's great for one of your travel trips. In fact, if you wanted to take a kit like this together or with you on your travels and journal them as you go, it would be a fabulous kit for that because really there's hardly anything else that you need unless you take a lot of pictures like myself. So I'll show you how you can add more pages to it. It has a lot of room for that, and it's just a really great kit. Um, my husband and I went to the North Shore earlier this month as part of actually late. We started on the 30th of July because that's our anniversary. And we went to the Minnesota North Shore. So the Minnesota North Shore is a really beautiful area. It's supposed to be much cooler. It was not. It was actually in the high 80s and the low 90s. So and the humidity was super high. So that was a bit of a struggle, but it still was beautiful, very gorgeous, especially when you were, tromping through the woods and looking at waterfalls. So, it just was a gorgeous, gorgeous area. All right, let me get to it. So the kit is comes all inclusive, so just like this, and it includes tear and tape, which is great for adding your photos. And comes with colored instructions, which is fabulous. So it gives you some examples, some ideas of how to go about laying out your kit. You can either follow their instructions or you can do it however you want to. But it's just got lots of possibilities, lots of ideas. All right. So there are all kinds of things that can be added to your kit, but let me just open it up here. So I've already decorated the front, and these are all stickers that came with it except for this one. This sticker I actually found in my little travels, and lo and behold, it just coordinates really nicely because it's a really kind of a darker color of this um, Lost Lagoon. Okay, so in the kit, they have these really fabulous pages. So this one is like a pocket page, and they've got this great texture to the pages. And then they've got one of these which opens up, and then you can see it's got all kinds of potential for whatever it is that you're wanting to use it for. So what you can do is I would nest them in each other, and then they have these rubber bands, and there's actually two of them, as you can see. So there's plenty of room for filling your journal full of the things that you find or that you want to add. So counting all the pages without adding anything in addition, and if you use the inside of each of the pages, you'll find yourself with 20 different pages. So for most travels, that's probably pretty good. I get a little carried away with photos. So, that makes it so that you'll need maybe more pages. Okay, so as you can see, they have all these little added items that you can journal on. So there's little tags. They're all just punch outs. So there's little grids, little lines, whatever it is that you need. Here's some bigger journaling pages. So if you have a lot to say about something in particular, gives you all kinds of opportunity, more tags. And again, more journaling. And each one is a little different, which is really special. And then these are pockets that you can add to the inside or to a page. In other words, like this one, I could have added this in a pocket, but I wanted the map to be able to pull out. So I added it like that. But these are all stickers. Now these are photos, but this is stickers right here where it has, so I'll show you those here in just a second. Okay, so there's 4 pockets that you could add, and you just add them with your tearing tape. And then they have obviously more stickers with numbers, all kinds of leaves and bicycles. This is the car and the sign that I put on the outside. And then I just added, like for the biggest one, I added North Shore, Minnesota, Lutz and Sea Villages, which is the place that we stayed, and then a couple of some of our favorite locations that we went to. So all kinds of opportunity, hearts, airplanes, suitcases. I mean, they're just great. And then there's some background pieces. So like this piece right here, I put there. But if you look at the instructions, they used it. It's a sticker behind the travel journal. So really pretty. The colors for this kit are the Lost Lagoon, which is the primary color of the covers, Calypso Coral, and then Early Espresso, Lost Lagoon, like I said, and Petal Pink, which is the pale pink. Okay, but white coordinates with it. Actually, the Lost Lagoon has a couple different colors, and I want to say that Pool Party would probably work with it as well. All right, let me continue to show you the stickers. So there's all kinds of things that you can add to it. I showed you that one. And then these are little strips. I shouldn't say little. They're very big strips that you can add behind your photos. And then, of course, there's all these letters for titles, which I added here for my 11th anniversary trip. And then some little letters if you want just like a little sentiment. And then they have sentiments that are in English, French, and then German and Dutch. And the best thing about it is that I found that the French are using the same on the little destination. So you can see these stickers, destination and date. I'm using those for the title page of each one of my locations. All right. So for the first one, I'm just showing where we stayed. So in other words, and note to yourself, these stickers don't like coming back up. So if you've not placed it in the right order, you'll find the hard way that it doesn't like to be moved. So, and then I realized when I was done that I didn't put any sort of little piece here. So this is just the location of where we stayed, and we were right on Lake Superior. And so I got a couple of views, like a morning view and an evening view of the lake. And it was just so vibrant, so pretty. And then just pointing out where we stayed. Okay, so I've already put these photos down, much to my frustration. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some color. Okay, so you're wondering about this pink one. So this is the Petal Pink. And what I did is I took 12 by 12 cardstock. And so you can take coordinating cardstock that will match your journal. This is the Early Espresso. And then we've got the Lost Lagoon. This is white. But I could also be using, I think I've got some as well. So I could be using Calypso Coral, but I can use the Winter Wheat. Calypso Coral is probably one of my not least, but it's one of my less favorite colors. So I don't know that I'd want to do a bright, bold one like that. But you've got these 12 by 12 sheets, and what you can do is cut them down to 8.5 by 8.5, score them at 5.5, and you'll have another set of pages. Okay, so that's what I did to add this. But again, figure out how many photos you have and what all you need to lay out before you start adding your photos, because I found the hard way that I was adding things and then I realized I needed more room for one of my destinations. So I started using these little post-it labels, which work out really well to kind of help you figure out where you're going to be putting things. Okay, so I do want one of those stickers, the long ones. And I think this one actually would work really well. And I don't need the whole thing because it actually will go over the edge. Nope, actually it'll fit from end to end. So let me just pull up a little bit here and pull up a little bit here. Once these stickers go down, they are not inclined to move. It's just kind of the way it is. So make sure you know where it is that you want it. Okay, so that just gives a little bit more color to this page. I don't necessarily need any over here, but you can see I use little tags to journal. And then also one of the things I did is I went through all these ones with different languages, and that's how I found out that the destination was the same in the French. Um, they have things like voyage, which is, I guess, their travel word. So, however they say it, but you could cut that out. Bonjour, you could use that. We all use that. Let's see, more. Just trying to find little words that are actually in English that you could cut out, because I've done a couple of it. Like one of the sentiments here that says admire. It was just something that was part of this saying right here. And then the word super I got from one of these pages. I'm not sure which one, but, or maybe it was, so just take a look and you can fussy cut what you want from it. So this, says so little time, having so much fun. And it also had so much to see, and I added that here. And then this was the plan. So this is the North Shore, and it's just right up against the Canadian border. So we had lots to move around and look at. Okay, so I've got another set of photos. This is for the Cascade River, and I'm just going to show you how easy it is to place. See, I got this one a little crooked, which will give me an opportunity to have another piece put underneath it. And you can do other things with this. Like I've been cutting little pieces off and I made flags out of them. So you can do that as well. I don't need to have this whole thing from top to bottom. So let me put some of this back. I'm just going to add a flag. And I think I've shown you this before. If you want to make a flag out of a piece, I just cut up in the middle and then I aim for that location and it makes a flag. So really convenient. Just going to pop this underneath this little piece right here. But I do need to straighten it, which it's not going to want to do. Now it's tearing, so, oh well. Okay, So I want these two to be like this, so I can add my tear and tape. Before I add my tear and tape, do I want to add anything in the background of this? We've got all these pieces. I think maybe one of these. So let me hold on to that while I know I have to cover up a little bit of that, which I don't want to, but and now I'm going to save this for another photo. And maybe another piece of foliage on this side, I'm thinking. Just maybe just a heart. And I still have room to journal here or here. All right, so here's another destination. So I like doing photos that are long. And what I did is I just cut it down so that it fits. It's like probably, let's see, this is, oh, actually, you know what? It's 8.5 by 11. Boy, I almost messed up on that one. 8.5 by 11. And then you scored at 5.5. So this piece is about 10.5 because I wanted to make sure that it didn't overlap into this other fold. Okay. So I'll need to put some tearing tape, but I'm only going to put tearing tape on one of them so that as it's opened and closed, I don't want it to have strictures that cause it to not want to move. So tearing tape. There it is. So if you're having trouble with tearing tape, what I do is I'll lay it down. And if you're having trouble, you can use your pick a tool to lift it up. But I would just make sure you lay down the back of it either with your nail or with like a bone folder or something. And then you'll find it just comes up super easy. So I love the tearing tape for that reason. I just find that it's not hard. Just lining up the fold. And then I have this picture, but let's make sure that we're leaving room to journal on these pictures. So because I have the two pictures, one on each side, and I don't necessarily need to have this one over so far, but I could actually journal in the middle. Or I could fold another picture and place it over here. I think I'll fold this picture. So I'm going to just score it on the back. And I need to score it at about right there. So again, I'm just going to add the tear and tape on one side that it can move as it needs to. And let's place this one. And now I can add some tear and tape to this one as well. This picture just a little bit. And just need something that will cover this up because this was one of my oopses. And I can find something that would work there. This was the little town of Grand Marais, and they had a harbor. We got to watch a boat, a really beautiful special sailboat that I hadn't seen before. Just make sure that this is not going to interfere. It was just a really, really beautiful. I mean, how often do you see like a three-masted, or not masted, but sailboat? And they do tours, from what I understand. So this was really fun. So before I go placing this, do I want maybe a little something back here? So let's place this here. And then I can place this photo. It's too bad the stickers don't have any sailboats, but we didn't get a tour on it. But next time we go, we'll plan that ahead. And then Okay, and then I had more photos that needed to go out here. This was more of the harbor. They have these protective, um, I don't recall what they're called, but there's a bunch of rocks, and then they've continued the rocks along and make this huge, oh, it's called something. Goodness gracious. It's not a buffer, but a weir, I think is what they call it. And they place that, oh, these stickers are so sticky. I think I want this right across here. So I'll put this one down first. But it's interesting because they integrated the rocks and these huge concrete weirs that just kind of seamlessly flowed through. And then they had a lighthouse at the very end of it, which is right here. The harbor was just so pretty, really, really pretty. Little natural pools, and we're gonna have to go back in the winter just to see it because it's just so interesting. Okay, so that was those pages. Just a few pages of the harbor. So this is looking out to the left and looking out to the right. Just so much prettiness. And then I wanted some flowers here. And then I've got more room to journal. Or maybe I shouldn't journal. Maybe I should add something fun like these suitcases. So before I lay that down, this pink beach. Now, it's not a beach that you're necessarily going to want to walk on because there's a very good chance that the rocks will hurt your feet. So just adding a little bit of color from the other page to this page. There we go. So if you're wondering about my photos, most of them are printed at 3.5 by 5, but I cut them down sometimes because I think that a photo on your camera, typically I want to say it's going to be like 3.5 by 4 3/4. Not always, but and then but I have a printer and I just use the Microsoft program. that lets me print my photos. But that's typically the size that would work best, unless you're doing like one feature photo, which can easily be, maybe um, 4 by 6 or 5 by 7, because you can fit up to a 5 inch wide photo on one of these, because this is 8.5 inches here, this is 5.5 here, but on this one here, this is just 5 inches across. So it's not 5.5, but this is 5.5, this is 5.5. So and I always capture pictures of flowers wherever I can. So as you can see, I just am constantly finding flowers. And then you've got this little pocket here, and I've got the Cascade River map from the Cascade River, which is here. And I just didn't have enough space. That's why it's really important to plan your photos before you start placing them, because then it gets a lot harder. But again, I've got these 2 pages here. So 2, 4, 6, whoops, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11. But I can add another couple of pages because look how thick this is. Look how much room there is to add more. And then, of course, you've got this rubber band that goes around it. So even if you have so much that it opens up like this, you still got the rubber band that'll keep it closed, keep all your goodies safe. So, but I have like another little map that I want. Let's see where I put it. That I printed out. And I just found this on the internet, and it's the North Shore Scenic Route, and it just kind of shows all the different places with a little bit more detail of where we went. And I can place that in here as well. So it's just a really fun journal. Take one of these along with you on your trip. I think there's just so much that you can do, and it turns out really great. Just have fun with it. Add a little bit here, a little bit there. I think there's so much fun that you can have with this journal. So I still have lots of room to do things that I want to add. I've got a slew of pictures and destinations that we need to add as well. So I won't bore you with that, but hopefully you enjoyed playing with this journal with me, and you can see how easy it is. There's no stamping. The only thing that I would say is pick out, some journaling pens. So these are the Stampin' Write markers, and I was using mostly the black, but I realized I could be using the early espresso. I could use the Lost Lagoon. I can use the Calypso Coral and also the Winter Wheat, and they'll make great journaling as well. I didn't pick the Petal Pink because the Petal Pink is just so light. So, be sure to pick something that will work for you and for your photos. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you had fun going through my journal with me. And I'll continue to work on this over the coming weeks, and I'll try to show you a completed version of it. So, all right. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Be sure to tune in for my Marvelous Monday Facebook Live.